Hey, what guys? I am back with a video. Very, very early in the morning. I started watching this at 1 o'clock. I already popped in before I started my video on Jurassic World. So I just want to just watch it. I should have just waited till tomorrow. Well, today now. You might point. So I probably won't have that much time to sleep. That's like 3 o'clock in the morning. So, better get this video done soon. Alright, I'm reviewing the Indiana Jones collection this time. Yeah, I got this the other day, the Blu-ray version. And today I'm viewing, well, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, the second film in the series. Like the first one, I've already seen this one. This time I pay proper attention, maybe because how late it is. Most of the time. I got one more film to go, that's The Last Crusade. That's not the original trilogy, guys. Before I move on to The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and the Destiny. Although I eventually start to go off with the game, which is free to play now, technically, if you have if you have Game Pass on Xbox. But I'm just gonna buy it, so it saves time in case it does go up bypass, but it's gonna cost me pretty expensive. Anyway. It's pretty interesting how Indiana Jones has the more mystical side to it. Though just being an action film, well, being like a Tomb Raider, there are a lot of supernatural elements to it. I guess that makes the franchise quite unique. So there's a lot of action adventure films of the same type. I mean, that's what basically inspired the Tomb Raider series in the 90s, which Lucas actually hated. I'm not kidding. TV and Star Wars did not like, or Indiana did not like Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Come on. Why? Sure takes ideas but its own thing. Lara's her own character. She's not a rip of Indy. And she just usually does her adventures alone, like Indy. We always have some type of companion with him in every movie. But Lara Croft wields two guns. I'm not saying the obvious that she's a woman. It's so easy just to gender swap. And then again, you'll say she is technically a female Indiana Jones because the original idea for Lara Croft was to make her a male. But they probably be too similar to Indiana Jones and change her to a female. And the best one was actually a total accident. It was actually a total accident on Toby Cole's part. But the rest of the team thought it would look but it's good. Which I don't understand. Games basically were seen for some boys, but games were seen as a kids, but not just a good. That type of thing will be seen as a game for boys type of thing. There's one girls playing it either, I'm just saying. So as you have that sexual appeal, but she is a badass character. I'm gonna off topic. I do want to review the Tomb Raider games at some point on my game channel. I do, but I plan to finish up my Resident Evil reviews. To finish up the Capcom, not trilogy. Basically, the three games that are connected. Resident Evil 4 was originally one of the original reported ideas. Became Devil May Cry, and Devil May Cry is like how epic and popular Devil May Cry inspired the Bayonetta series. So they definitely are connected. Just saying. But this game is nearly 2 hours. It's nearly 2 hour long film. Over nearly 3 hours. Jesus Christ. If I knew it'd be that long, I would have watched it I would have watched it later. Oh well. So the film opens up in China in the year 1935. I think that's a year before the events of the first film. So, why exactly 1935? Why make it set before the first film? Doesn't make any sense, does it? Doesn't make any sense, does it? Why say it before the first film? This is literally the second film in the entire series. They deal with Nazis. Were they afraid of saying it during World War II? It's just some weird dialogue that I don't think makes sense unless I'm probably wrong about them. Oh yeah, let me know in the comments. Alright. Anyway, it starts with a performance. As a typical Welsh dance club. As Indy ends up dealing with a mobster. And they see back and forth happen, and well, a fight breaks out. And he basically tries to kill one of the dancers, but they don't care. All about Sue's, you know, and I'm gonna skip. In the end, they're going out skipping to a car. The car being driven by a young Chinese boy, whose name is Short Round. At least that's what he's been called. And the girl's name is Willie. That's her stage name. That's gonna be weird to say. And they make this way to escape to a plane, but it turns out the plane is owned by that bullshit monster. Don't yawn now. By that mobster. So after taking the rest, next morning the pirates jump out near the mountains, some snowy mountains. I have to find out the pirates go. Let's just stay with the plane, but they decide to escape using a raft. Dark. I think going on War 4, eventually, they end up finding a village. You see, basically, the chief wants, at the time, the chief basically explains some things. The Maharaja, a emperor of India, wanted to bow down to his religion, but they refused. And then the children suddenly disappeared. And the stones were just taken as well. Very powerful stones. So he decides to go to the palace himself. So free head of the palace. Take a break. We learn a bit about Short Rounds. As Indy said, he found him after his parents were killed by the Japanese. Yes. That does not make any sense, though. This is 1935, right? Sure, Japan was doing propaganda at the time. But don't forget, well, they committed terrible acts during the war. So crazy shit still happened in Japan, yes, I know that. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but one of these terrible acts during World War II, why did the Japanese kill why would the Japanese kill some Chinese before World War II? I don't know, it just does not make any sense to me. It just does not make any sense to me. Unless I'm missing something. So, are they afraid to say during the actual war? Are they afraid to actually say during the war? I think the fourth film set after World War II. No, the Nazi is still there. So it's sometime during the late war. Or something, I don't know. But I guess I'll find out when I've actually watched that film. Willie's kind of Willie and Short kind of both annoying. I do agree. And the film is overrated, but still a good film. But this is the only one of the original trilogy to be rated 12 here. Yeah, all films in the US are rated PG-13. As you can really tell. As you can tell, especially later half. The violence is slightly toned. Like, they still show blood and stuff because of the age rating. But it's just, you know what I mean? You just really tell it's PG-13. Not going to... You can tell it's just slightly different. This is kind of like Jurassic Park style thing. Granted, these baby films came out before the Jurassic Park trilogy even came out. Remember, Jurassic Park came out in 1993. And the films were released all throughout the throughout the 1980s. So, all throughout the night. Yeah. I actually do plan to collect the Star Wars trilogy to review for Star Wars Day. But they're over 2 hours long. I'm going to re-review the first film again. I know I already reviewed the first film. I was planning to review the other two, I completely forgot. So it's best for me to re-review that film. Yeah, so I can put these photos together. And we focus on those for Star Wars Day, the classic trilogy, then focus on the prequel trilogy, then the sequel trilogy. But those last two will be a later date, so I can focus on other stuff as well. Anyway, the next morning, the three rush here to the palace. The Prime Minister who works alongside the Maharaja. The Maharaja is basically a young boy. And has some disturbing meals. And he does try to inquire about it. They say it's folklore though. And that night, Indy and Willie end up having a type of flirty thing. Not flirting, not flirting. Flirting, not flirting. Flirting, not. So yeah. To say they won't last by each other. They won't last by minutes till they come calling back to each other to do that. That's what I mean. They don't find a secret passage and head on through. That's what he's called, a secret underground mine. And I find the missing children enslaved. Even finding the 3 stones. Also, witnesses something horrible. It's essentially the main antagonist. Has sort of a technique that allows him to rip someone's heart out. Oof. This is why it's a little more higher here. I'm not kidding. Okay, so first film here is very PG. Second film 12, third PG. Wait. Sorry. Second film 12 and third film PG. Mostly because of how heart fails and the slave labor. I can see why the rating is slightly higher for this one. Not that getting your face is melted off your fucking skin. Face is melting by looking at a powerful light. It isn't gruesome. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Remember that? That's in the first film. Jesus Christ. Anyway, if we end up getting captured though, and the torment, and basically Ben reveals his plan. As somehow he's got brainwashed. A lot of the people that the Maharaja has been brainwashed. and trying to force India to become British too. He's hated the British occupying India. It was to kill all powers, but when he was to kill them and the village, and the normal and the regular village too. You know, basically, his religion is his own. I think. Anyway, see, you know, pretty much Indy, and he tries to kill Willie while having Short Round chained up like the other kids, but he breaks free and sets and managed to get break and snap Indy out of that trance, also rescuing Willie. But he did the best to escape also by also bit. Well, not sorry, by a lot of those guys. Remember, they're fighting hard. He's apparently against a big guy. While a larger uses a bulldog on him, but Shotgun takes care of that, and that's who breaks the prince free of that trance as well. He doesn't way to escape after a sort of gruesome death of the big guy being crushed under a pillar, under a rolling thing. I can't remember what it's called. Okay. And if we escape all without being reflected by the water, let's get to the bridge. Of course, the villain confronts them there. But Indy has a quick forward idea to cut the bridge when they're all on it. All of fall, and most of the men end up being eaten by crocodiles. It's not even that gruesome either. It's just showing crocodiles in their clothes tattered. It's not as brutal as Jurassic Park. As you see some of them bites and screams. I feel the same age rating too. I'm not joking. What? I guess it's the. I don't know if Jurassic. Well, it's not rated R, so it's definitely PG-13. I think. I don't get US ratings sometimes. Indians ends up, way to beat the guy. Indy ends up encountering the chant for the stones. Well, two of the stones but one fall in the ocean, and so does the big bad, dead. Again, not very brutal. Doesn't even show any blood there. No blood in the water. It's really slightly more toned down than Jurassic Park. I'm just saying. Not complaining, I'm just saying. Also, but luckily, I think it's the Maharaja's army. And it's going to stop the other forces from advancing. Also, they managed to free the children before the water thing happened. As the children return to the village, they'll be reunited with their parents. As Indy and Willie end up having a intimate kiss. Ending the film. What happened to Marianne? Yeah, that's the weirdest part. This is supposed to be set before he reunited with Marianne. And they kissed in that. Yeah, that's just fucking weird, okay? I'm glad the third one did not have any female lead characters. It just focused on Indy and Espada. I'm glad. Because that being, I don't even know its timeline. It's fucking confusing. They did not need a romantic interest with Indy. Well, they could have just gone made the character slightly older instead of having the romance with Indy. That would make much more sense, but I digress. Anyway, that was the Temple of Doom. It is a classic, don't get me wrong. I would agree it's overrated. And even though the harping is kind of brutal to think about, the crocodile part wasn't even that brutal compared to being eaten by fucking dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. What? Seriously? Think about it. when you watch Jurassic Park, when people get killed, you see them get eaten, not fully, but you see them get bitten and stuff. You see parts of them being bitten. Even Resident Evil time was that more violent than that. Oh wait, it didn't come out this time. My bad. And once I finish all 5 films, I definitely be giving the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle a try. Big interesting experience. This is mostly in first person, except for cutscenes. So I'm curious to check that out and review it eventually for my game channel. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy my content, please if anyone want to see more, subscribe to the channel, look at your bell, obviously videos guys video. And I'll see you guys next time for another video. Hopefully I might do one later on this third one. Maybe. We'll see. Thank you. I'll see you guys next time. Cybermaster out.